Alright, camera on. Now I said I wasn't going to show this DS2 today, but I am going to show it here for a reason. This video is more about the Manticore, and I'm going to turn it on here and make some comments. Show you a couple of things here and give you the sharpshooter's take. You can take this any way you see fit. Both of these machines have 11-inch coils on them. All I'm going to show on this DS2 is the mono program, and I've got it as close to 15 kilohertz, 15.1. Okay. Speed 1.5. I've got this machine notched to 40. Now that phone reads 35, but remember, fall can read higher than 35, okay? And what you're going to see with this Manticore is I've got the disc on it set higher, substantially higher than what that phone reads, the actual disc. We've got this gold ring down here. So what the purpose of me showing this DS2 for is to show you what the weaknesses could be of a single frequency machine out in the wild like the DS1, the DS2 in mono, running around 15 kilohertz, the AT Pro F75. You see where I'm going with this? I'm going to show you how you might take that detector and exploit those models, those setups, and be more successful in the wild and dig less foul and maybe dig more gold rings, okay? So here's the old DS2. Like I said, I done told you what the settings are. Now listen. That's a sweep. You see that? So with a 40 notch, I'm sweeping through the wild. Vary the coil height a little bit. You see what's going on with that detector now. Hover sweep. If I let the notch on this, knowing that fall reads 35, if I let the notch down to 37, so you get to judge that detector. Speaker's at max volume. Okay? So you can see clearly that would be fairly easy to miss that gold ring trying to notch that foil there, okay? Let me turn the camera off briefly. Alright, camera back on. Now, you see down here in this screen here, the disc. Notice that check mark over there. When I toggle, there's 5. 6, I've still got the check mark. 7, I don't. So everything you see in this video is a disc of 0 through 6, which will definitely reject that fall and even some higher reading fall, okay? So, all-terrain general. Now everything in here is depth audio, speed 5. You hear that? So we're getting fall rejection and we're getting that old gold ring, okay? Beach general. Same discrimination, same speed. You hear that. Alright? All-terrain low conductors. Same speed, the same disc. Nothing. Okay? Remember that. Beach low conductors. Same disc. You hear that, okay? Now I'm going to show you something else here. This doesn't get talked about on the mighty Manticore, single frequency. I'm going to go back to all-terrain general. Now I'm not telling you to run your machine in single frequency. I'm just going to show you this. Remember, there's no upper and lower Ferris limits using single frequency, but I am in speed 5, 15 kilohertz. So I'm over that fall. You see where it's at in there. You hear that? You hear that? We're probably getting a better signal with this at 15 kilohertz than we did that JS2 running mono at 15.1. Pretty fast sweep there, okay? So I'm gonna turn this Manticore off. Sharpshooter's been out here and he's been playing with a few foil, smaller, bigger configurations. Now, people buying the Manticore, you know, you could be misled. A lot of the general talk with metal detectors, VLF metal detectors, higher frequency is better. Or a go ring is a low conductor. So you may buy that machine and say, oh, okay, I just go to all-terrain low conductors, game, set, match. Sharpshooter can tell you this with 1,000% certainty. You can go into a park or sports field. If you're going to dig every swinging signal, searching for a go ring, all-terrain low conductors is the mode for you. Remember, you're not discriminating jack. You're digging every signal. Let me turn this camera off. Digging every signal with all-terrain low conductor. You're going to get some performance around iron. You're going to get smaller gold. You know, all the go ring range. Probably do a little better with rings on edge. Of course, you know, you're depth limited per sweep on those. What about using discrimination? You're select digging. You don't want to dig foil. Well, the all-terrain general, very good choice. Now, on land, you get a ground balance depth program, but now this multi-frequency, you know, ground balance is not as critical on it as it is a single frequency and moderate mild ground. See what I'm saying? So using discrimination, all-terrain general, you're going to see similar ops with beach general and beach low conductors, but you get the ground balance of that general. I don't see the beach general, beach low conductors giving advantage on all-terrain general. Okay? Involving lower conductive trash like foil. That program was designed for soil on the land, okay? You can use it, I guess, on a wet salt beach up in the dry section. Now, if you don't run, let's say you want to select dig and you don't want to run discrimination. Well, you could actually set your, say, a 5 tones program up. You could have that baby clicking a higher tone at, say, ID number 6 or 7. Run it all-terrain general. Alright, it would alert you. Also, looking at the meter. Looking at the meter, no discrimination. Well, you're going to be able to tell a possible go ring exists or a higher conductive, lower conductor close to foil with the all-terrain general versus the all-terrain low conductors. Polluted sites. Users desiring to dig go rings. All-terrain general. Even the fast program. Now remember your speed setting. You might not want to run that machine too fast. Okay? speed 5, speed 6, you'll do well. There's already been people probably went into parks with the Manticore, sports fields running all-terrain low conductor. And they've seen 4s in their meters or 3s and they've walked off. They would have swept some of them safe scenarios with all-terrain general, they may not have walked off. Or they ran discrimination up to 4, for example. I can't remember what the default is. There's a default in some of them programs of actual discrimination. And again, some scenarios you could sweep over with all-terrain low conductor with that factory built in, and you wouldn't hear jack, and the go ring is down there. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about this. Women probably wore more go rings back in the day than men. Alright, but yet there may have been more men in some of these areas, but they weren't wearing maybe as much, you know. Women's go rings are generally what? Smaller. They generally ID lower. Now, don't forget, the all-terrain general strikes high conductors too. It's just not as deep as the all-terrain high conductor. Okay? And here's where I'm going with this. You can take that all-terrain general program into a park, an old house site, soccer field, and there is silver jewelry to be had. Remember that. Now, you know where the old nickel reads on that machine. You know, and you start getting into beaver tails, pull tabs. Well, you could have a strategy where you go in using all-terrain general into a site like a park. You could notch that machine to 6. Just get to 6. Open it up till around 26. Shut it down. Open it back up for your higher conductive range, your silver and your copper. You won't be digging nickels. You won't be digging a lot of your, like, beaver tails, some of your pull rings. But some of those smaller women's go rings, you might get on them. You know, the question is, in a site, well, what's going to read 17 exactly? How many 18s, 17s, 21s, 22s, 23s, 15s are you going to see in a site? You may not see that many. You might dig them and you might cash out. Now remember, I've done showed some of these folks in these sites over the years running single frequency. Well, if they were select digging trying to use notch, or even looking at their meter without notch, they may have decided, oh, that's not a gold ring, it's reading too low, that's fall. And they walked off. You can come right behind situations like that with a mighty Manticore, even with a disc of 6. All-terrain generals and kaboom. Alright. And also I showed the single frequency. You know, it has some strength there. 15 kilohertz single frequency has strength over all-terrain low conductors even. But I would much rather use that all-terrain general for what I'm talking about here. There are people who let's go rings. Fall is a problem. Lower conductive modern trash, smaller pieces of can slaw, smaller pieces of aluminum. Now what I've showed you in this video, is it going to unmask every go ring out there? No. Negative. Now, I haven't checked this, but I suspect iron situations. Remember now, when you start introducing iron, I've only been talking modern trash. And that's where the all-terrain lower conductors may offer advantage. You could have a mixed go ring situation with a nail, iron, and modern trash. The all-terrain general may still perform, but it could be a sub-performer there to the all-terrain lower conductor, you know, so you pick your poison with that metal detector. But modern trash, looking for go rings, the all-terrain low conductors is not the program for you, I don't think. And I don't think you're going to see this in the manual either. No, by the way, some people, you know, this has sort of happened before. Anytime a metal detector company puts a mode on a machine and they've got the word general in it, some people automatically draw the conclusion they've been detecting for a while and say, oh, that's the kiddie program. I don't need to be running that. Same applies to the DS2. That general program can be looked at as a kiddie program, you know, a beginner's program. Well, you better be thinking again about both of those detectors. Again, I try to share data, give suggestions, recommendations, things for you to consider based on what I'm seeing. Now, I'm going to add this in here. Garrett evidently has a new machine coming out. Well, if anybody from Garrett sees this video, you want to send me that detector pre-release, I'd be more than happy to look at it. I don't even need a non-disclosure agreement. I work with XP and I work with MindLab, helping them on some pre-release model and some pre-release software. Do you think I talked to one company giving them inside information on the other company's pre-release stuff? The answer is no. After it's released, I show it, I talk about it, I compare it. Okay? If Gary wants to send me that machine, I'll be more than glad to look at it. I'll show it after it releases. I'll shake that baby down. I'm a good bug finder on a metal detector. Okay? And doing these tests that I've done with this Manticore this morning, you know, I'm exposing that detector. I could find a bug. You see what I mean? I'm moving around the programs and changing the settings. Now, if Gary wants to send me that thing, if they in fact have one, when I'm done with it, if they don't want me to have it, I will mail it at my expense to any destination they so choose in the continental United States at my expense. Can't beat that with a stick, can you? Maybe they want it sent to another tester. Maybe they want it sent to a dealer for a demo. I don't know. I'm just making the offer. You know, it's my time. You know, I could be sitting on my ass around here making about $65,000, $70,000 a year, but I don't do that. I'm out here with these metal detectors showing you all stuff. That's going to conclude the video.